I posted something on my page about how it was an article from The Intercept talking about how there was a bunch of theories that had come out after the revelations from Donna Brazile regarding the DNC, regarding everything that occurred as far as what she knew, what was going on within the DNC, the fact that the DNC had essentially rigged the primary in favor of Hillary Clinton against Bernie Sanders. These are revelations she just came out with recently, and it created a huge tidal wave of news definitely through the progressive sphere. A lot of the neoliberals, a lot of the centrists, a lot of the Hillary supporters are kind of just like, well, whatever, it happens. What are you going to do? You just got to let it go, and that's it. Nobody really cares anymore. It's in the past. So that's what a lot of the people that don't want that information to be focused on to know, and whatever. I mean, I guess that's the way they're going to do it. And I personally, I'm not surprised. Again, honestly, I'm not really surprised by the revelations that came out, but I'm also not surprised by the reaction to the revelations, because we already were, the Bernie supporters like us, like myself, we were already saying that the primary was rigged, that the cards had been stacked against Bernie Sanders. So that's nobody's surprised by that. So but as far as what she revealed, it is definitely shocking. But I mean, the depths of what political parties, whether it's Republicans, whether it's Democrats, whatever party it is, whatever the establishment is, the depths that they can go to rig certain things to make it to make it benefit the way the candidates that they want, the way they want it, that can go to ridiculous lengths. So that shouldn't be very surprising. But anyway, so I've gone off on a little tangent. I just want to point all that stuff out just for those of you that don't know. But there was a lot of theories that came out regarding Donna Brazile. Let's take a look at the article here. The title of the article from The Intercept, written by Glenn Greenwald, great journalist. 4 viral claims spread by journalists on Twitter in the last week alone that are false. And this article basically laid out the fact that there were multiple falsehoods that were, basically making things up about Donna Brazile after she came out with the DNC leaks or the DNC revelations. So here's the first viral falsehood. I'm just going to give you the title and then I'll break down exactly what, as best I can, exactly what it was. It says the Clinton /DNC agreement cited by Brazile only applied to the general election, not the primary. So I, did my research on this, and I found out that the claim that the Hillary Clinton or the Hillary campaign, the Hillary supporters, whatever, were putting out on, whether it was Twitter, whether it was just through regular statements that they made, they said that, you have to understand, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders signed the same exact agreement during the primary. The agreement that Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton signed, the one that they signed was only to benefit Hillary Clinton. What the Hillary Clinton people are saying, that's the viral falsehood that they're saying, or whatever they're putting out, is that they're saying that no, the primary was not rigged, A, and B, the agreement that was signed was set for the general election. So all the funding, all the different messaging that was put out, all the communications directors that were put on assignment for the campaign, that was mainly done for the general election, not the primary. The primary was completely unrigged. It was completely fair to both sides, and nobody has to worry about that. That's not true at all. The way Donna Brazile put it out, she said that it was rigged in favor of Hillary during the primary, and then the general election, of course, it was, it was put for the person that was whoever the Democratic candidate was. But that's irrelevant because in the primary was supposed to be completely unbiased and was supposed to be favoring all of the candidates, whoever was running. Because not only Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders were running, but Martin O'Malley was running, Lincoln Chafee was running, Jim Webb was running. So all these different people were running in that primary. And in reality, the Hillary Clinton campaign had signed an agreement in September of 2015 saying that they want and they signed it with the DNC, and the DNC made them the promise that everything would be controlled by them and them only, and not Bernie Sanders, not anybody else. Just Hillary Clinton and her campaign, specifically from their headquarters in Brooklyn, New York. And so that was one of the viral falsehoods that was put out there. Totally disputed by Donna Brazile. Donna Brazile said no, that's not the case. The Hillary Clinton campaign is wrong. It was biased in favor of her and her campaign. So a lot of people on Twitter, they put that stuff out there. They made it seem as if, oh no, you have to understand it was like that, and that's what we know. No, it's complete bullshit. That's not based on any factual information that anybody has. So as far as another viral falsehood was Sanders signed the same agreement that, so this is the other part of that. It's kind of like a twofer. Sanders signed the same agreement with the DNC that Clinton did. So as far as what Clinton signed for the primary, giving funding and, all the different, control or certain level of control to the DNC, Sanders signed the same exact thing, and he had the same level of control that she had. Again, that's not true. That's not the way the Sanders camp knows it to be. That's not how Donna Brazile put it. None of that kind of stuff. And NBC News came out with an article where they stated that he did sign the same agreement, but then they added a little part to it, and they said, quote, a joint fundraising agreement between the Bernie Sanders campaign and the Democratic Committee obtained Friday by ABC News and signed at the start of the primary campaign for the presidential election does not include any language about coordinating on strategic decisions or over hiring or budget, unlike a fundraising memo between the Hillary Clinton team and the DNC. So, after the reports had come out, people, a lot of the reports had to kind of put like a little footnote and be like, listen, that's not what we found out when we looked through the actual, agreement that was signed. And it was actually just like I said before, it was just signed in favor of Hillary Clinton, to favor her, not to favor Bernie Sanders. The next falsehood that was put out was Brazile stupidly thought she could unilaterally remove Hillary Clinton as the nominee. Now, the argument that I made when I heard this was, well, yeah, there is, aside from the fact that Brazile, whether or not she has the power to do that, which she does not, by the way, she is perfectly within her rights to go out there and say, hey, listen, this is not a very good candidate. This person has obviously rigged the process in favor of themselves. I want to get rid of him. Now, that wasn't her reasoning for why she wanted to do that. She wanted to do it because in her mind, she was, Hillary Clinton is stumbling all over herself, and she's got pneumonia and all this different stuff. That's what happened back during the September 11th memorial, where she had heat exhaustion, but she also had pneumonia, and she was taken back to the van, and then she stumbled in, and then that whole thing became a really viral clip, and Brazile said we should essentially replace her because of that reason, because of what happened at the memorial. Now, who did she want to replace that person with? Who did she want to replace Hillary Clinton with? Joe Biden. Of all the people that she could think about, she came out with Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden was not running for president. Joe Biden was still serving as VP at the time. So I don't really know how that would have worked. That wouldn't have made any sense. So, why wouldn't you put the person that was running against Hillary Clinton and lost the primary to? Now, whether fairly or unfairly, why wouldn't you put essentially the second place, contestant, if you want to put that, use that term. Bernie Sanders was the other person that was running in the primary. He lost to Hillary Clinton. Why wouldn't you put him instead? That would be the only fair thing to do. Unfortunately, that's not what you want to do, but whatever ended up happening. It wasn't going to happen anyway. But as far as wanting to replace Hillary Clinton, the reasoning that Brazile wanted was, in my opinion, I mean, it kind of made sense, but it should also add on to the fact that she, and this is after Brazile found out that, Hillary Clinton and her campaign rigged the primary in favor of her. And that would be a reason, that including the reason that she had pneumonia and she was sick and this and that. Why wouldn't you want to replace that person after finding all that stuff out, on top of the fact that they don't even seem like they're able to handle the job based on their, poor health, essentially. Bernie Sanders doesn't have any health issues. He's never had issues like that. So, so the fourth falsehood that was put out was evidence has emerged proving that the content of WikiLeaks documents and emails was doctored. So this is a ridiculous smear that has been used against Julian Assange, against WikiLeaks, claiming really ridiculous accusations that never were backed up by anything. That was never backed up by any evidence. There was no evidence out there that was showing that WikiLeaks doctored anything. So that's something that, by the way, Donna Brazile put out there, and also a lot of Hillary supporters, a lot of different kinds of people put out there, just so they could, deflect from what was actually in the WikiLeaks documents, in the WikiLeaks emails, all the stuff that was put out. So, I think if I remember correctly, it was, I don't know who it was, but somebody out there, doctored an email or whatever, some sort of document that WikiLeaks released, and then they put it out there, and then somebody found it, targeted it, and said, "Oh, look, this is an example of WikiLeaks doctoring something," when it was never really them who did it. That was in their original email, and they had receipts that confirmed that, no, this is the actual email, not this one that was doctored. So that was never proven to be put out by them anyway. So it was just something that was made up. My guess is some right-winger out there, either some right-winger out there wanted to make whatever that document or whatever that email or whatever it was that was put out, they want to make it look worse than it was, or somebody that was a Hillary supporter ruined that, whatever it was, and they made it look as if it was doctored, and they said, "Oh, look, this is evidence of somebody doctoring something." But it's essentially thrown into an echo chamber, and nobody can figure out where it came from. So nobody really figures out where did this claim where did it originate from. So this is the same thing that's been going on in mainstream media circles for years, and it's this, and obviously the Hillary campaign and the Hillary supporters decided to jump on that too, unfortunately, and I can't say I'm all that surprised. But that's the way it happened. So it was all bullshit. That stuff, all these claims are ridiculous. None of them make any goddamn sense. None of them I ever believed. I know that for sure. A lot of times when I saw them, I had to do like a double take. I had to do like a double take and be like, wait, that's not right. That doesn't make any sense. And because, I follow a lot of progressives out there. I follow what WikiLeaks is doing. I know exactly what all that stuff is about. And, it was bullshit. I definitely didn't believe it.